Oh my god, this boss is so hard! Like, why am I even playing this game? You know what? I'm gonna go download Peggle.
No, dude, you gotta keep trying. Trust me, once you beat him, you'll feel such an overwhelming sense of
pride and accomplishment.
Yes! I hate you said it like that, but yeah!
That's interesting, because right now, I only have an overwhelming sense of rage and quitting. God, I hate this! Bosses are the worst!
Yeah. No, it's like bosses just exist to get in the way of progress. Like, they bring all the fun to a halt. Like, why even have a boss?
True. Nobody likes bosses. I mean, they're lame, overpowered, broken pieces of crap. I hate this! Ugh!
No, Jimmy! Oh.
And there goes our last controller. Why do you keep giving him new ones?
I thought he had it this time.
Oh. Hey, boss.
Podcasters, don't hate boss me. I was listening up, numbskulls, and I heard you three talking about how you hate bosses. After everything I've done for you, I gave you this job.
Oh, he's done. Well, we weren't talking about you, boss.
Yeah, it was all a misunderstanding. JB was just talking about bosses in video games.
Hey, idiots, I am a boss from video games.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot.
You've done it now. You boys opened up a whole Pandora's box of pain. Cause that's what I call my emotions. That's right. You hurt my feelings. And now I'm an emotional wreck.
What is going on?
I can't believe you three. And today of all days. I can't even right now. I'm out of here.
That was weird. That wasn't the normal angry-go-lucky boss I'm used to.
Yeah, I didn't think we actually could hurt his feelings.
I didn't think he had feelings. Like, I thought he was like a Vulcan or something.
Yeah, and what did he mean today of all days?
Did you not read Terry's memo?
Oh, no, what memo?
Oh good, I was worried I didn't delete it completely. Today is National Boss Appreciation Day.
Damn it, and...
That'll teach you to call me Siri.
That was one time.
I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel bad now.
Yeah. We gotta make it up to him somehow.
Yeah, if only. Oh, I got it!
Oh, what?
We throw him a surprise party for Boss Appreciation Day.
Oh, that's a great idea, dude. Oh, and we can make today's episode about bosses and gaming, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and what if we fill the entire office with, like, the things the boss loves?
Oh, yeah, like,
you know, like...
Come on, we know all about the boss. He loves,
Yeah.
Anime?
Anime? The boss. You guys are terrible employees. No wonder you guys hurt his feelings. I mean, obviously the boss loves... shit.
He loves shit?
No.
You think he loves shit? What the hell's wrong with you?
No, it's something you just say. Like, I
mean,
I think
you said he loves shit. That's a weird thing to
Who
say.
loves shit, man?
We're not getting him shit, no. Hello and welcome to Game Corp, the best damn podcast this side of the video game dimension. We are your hosts. I'm Cowboy.
I'm Jake.
And I'm JB, a.k.a. Judge Booty.
Damn! You got that cake, boy.
Hell yeah, Judge Booty.
10 out of 10.
In today's episode, and in honor of Boss Appreciation Day, we're covering one of the most diabolical, the most lethally effective video game bosses in existence. A boss so powerful that it crippled a Titan MMO World of Warcraft for nearly a month, baby! That's right, we're talking Hakkar the Soul Flayer!
Damn, baby.
That's right. Today is all about exposition, baby. And before we begin, I'm getting in the hot seat, baby. I'm gonna drop a bomb so big, y'all gonna... No, that was gonna be so gross. It was never mind.
Y'all gonna shit.
Y'all
gonna be having a great time tonight, guys. Okay,
Y'all ready for me to lay bricks? Lay bricks? Yeah, like the foundation of a story. Lay bricks.
I'm gonna drop a bomb so big you're gonna rip your own heart out, shove it up your own ass, and then out of your mouth and squeeze it like some weird Beetlejuice.
words right out of my mouth, JB.
Mhm.
That's right. Everyone at home, grab onto your seat and hold tight because get ready for this 9.0 fucking truth bomb, baby.
Ooh.
Cyberpunk 2077
Oh, the glitchy mess that everybody hated.
is good now.
No. What?
It's a good
Is
game,
it?
and it's a good game, and it's good to play, and it had a lot of patches now, and I'm playing it, and I've had such a good, smooth, wonderful experience. I'm having a fucking blast playing Cyberpunk 2077 right now.
Wait.
Yes.
Are you telling me that they No Man's Skied that shit?
I think
Is
they
that what you're saying?
absolutely did. At least on PC. I'm playing on PC. I got a pretty beefy PC, but it looks amazing, and it's playing so smooth. I've had no glitches, weird bullshit happening. It's been a wonderful, kick-ass experience, and I just had to say it. I had to put it out there in the world. Those of you listening at home, you can let go now, and you can put chapstick on that booty, because I know I just hit it raw. I don't know what I'm saying. That was so gross. So anyway, it's a good game now.
That was a powerful sentence.
For sure. Like, good gamer news is few and far between nowadays. Like, with all of the crazy stuff going on. So, you coming in and dropping that bomb, you're basically the messiah of gaming. Like,
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
let me be the hipster here and say I was so into Cyberpunk before it was fixed or
That
cool,
is
however
true.
you want to put it, because I loved it back then.
that's actually accurate. Like, I remember Cowboy talking about it, release, like, saying, like, everybody's crazy. This is a good game.
Everybody is crazy because there is a little bit of a bandwagon because we all used to love playing broken games. Like
That is really true.
Skyrim. Skyrim's 10 out of 10. Skyrim is a perfect game. It's fucking broken as hell, but it's one of the best games ever. And you learn to play with the glitches. You love them, dude. Those glitches fed Twitter for like ever.
They absolutely did. And some of the glitches were actually left in because it was so funny.
Yeah.
Giants launching you into space, that's a glitch. They took it out. People said, no, put it back.
Yeah.
And
It's
they
not
did.
a bug, it's a feature.
It's a feature now.
Bugs as features.
But
Bugging
I'm-
as intended.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, I've seen the videos of the weird, wild, and wacky shit that happened at launch. And yes, the launch was borked. And yes, it didn't even run on PS4. I'm not apologizing for the launch. It launched in a bad way, and shame on that. But today, don't deny yourself the opportunity to play.
Yeah.
All
so
of you out there. As long as you have a current gen, like, if you have a Series X or a PS5, if you have a good PC, try it out. I don't know if it plays well on anything else.
Your results may vary. Yeah.
Your results may vary, but my experience has been so buttery smooth. I was so impressed.
I remember the biggest thing that people were like complaining about was the AI, because in the like trailers and the hype for it, the whole thing was like, this feels like a real cyberpunk city, and the AI is amazing, and there's crowds and there's all this stuff. So how was the AI? Did you ever feel like you were pulled out of the game?
Oh, they're absolutely just as smart as anything in GTA. That is, they're walking zombies. Like, let's be real here. Night City is beautiful, and it's such an amazing set piece to enjoy missions in. Just running around in Cyberpunk, it feels the same to me as running around in GTA. They're mindless bodies wandering around doing nothing. These aren't NPCs with schedules, right? Like, this isn't Oblivion where every NPC has a story that they do every day. This is mindless people walking around. But I don't know why you should expect anything different, especially from especially when titans like GTA are doing the same exact thing.
Sure, that's true. Are the AI like T-posing into your room still?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm
They're
not.
not.
No. I'm not experiencing anything like that. People are walking around and they'll react to you being next to them, and everyone looks like they're supposed to be doing what they're doing. Nobody's fucking T-posing or flying around or dipping into the buildings or falling into the dirt. And
All right.
cars aren't flying away, like any of that shit. None of that is happening anymore.
And here's my beef. Glitches made the shit feel more cyberpunky. Like,
Honestly,
oh my god.
sometimes
They're glitching. Their gear, their implants are glitching. That's why he's T-posing.
I would say some of that feels really good sometimes, because there is such an element of that already in Cyberpunk where you can't even trust your own eyes.
Yeah.
And if a little something artifacts or glitches a little bit in Cyberpunk, I'm just like, yeah, that makes sense. But it doesn't really happen that much anymore. My point is that if you have a current gen situation, don't deny yourself the opportunity, because Cyberpunk is finally in a state to enjoy.
Yeah,
Rejoice, everybody. Go out and fucking get yourself some Cyberpunk action.
Yeah, play the missions. The nucleus of this is really good. There's a lot of space in between missions that's just kind of like empty and useless. It all looks cool. But when you get to like the heart of this game, I love how the story's told. I was in it when I was playing it. And some of this A game has never made my jaw drop with a story beat. This game, a couple of times, made my jaw drop with a story beat. I was like, oh my God, they did that.
It's intense.
And it's really personal. It's really intimate sometimes.
Yo. I'm going to let you finish in a second, but Final Fantasy XIV had the best jaw drop story beat of all time. I'm just saying. And you can do a free trial up to level 60 and play all the Heaven's Word. Like, just go out there and play.
That little medieval political fucking MMO that
Is
you
that
play.
It? Are they like chocobos now?
I mean, you can play as a cat girl, and she's got big old boobies, and then like a tail, and then you play as a cat girl, and then you can see her like jumping around.
It's a social commentary on modern day Japan. I get it. I understand.
Anyway,
plays it for the plot.
Speaking of AI, like AI has come a long way since Cyberpunk was being developed, and something I noticed in the Discord, Cowboy, was that you were posting these insane AI generated images. What the hell is going on with that?
They were so cool.
It's neat. It's like it's all over Twitter and stuff. It had kind of a buzz going, but like there's been a small leap in AI image generation. What is it called? It is called Midjourney, right?
Midjourney. The one you were using that was creating beautiful, like actually super intricate and fun to look at images was Midjourney. Everyone was playing around with DALL-E, right? DALL-E.
Right. DALL-E Mini and
Yeah, everyone's been playing around with that, but Midjourney is something else.
Right. It is. It takes, the jump from what it was before to DALL-E is now the jump from DALL-E to Midjourney. Like it makes it actually make sense and it looks good. It's kind of weird.
It really feels like we're on the cusp of AI making a leap because like we're talking about AIs that tell stories now, and like there was that AI dungeon that did D&D and everything, and now they make images. I've seen things about AIs making music. If you feed it like sample music, it'll craft a brand new song for you in that style. Like it's weird.
And in the coding world, we have so GitHub has this new thing called GitHub Copilot, which will actually, as you start to write the code, it'll be like basically like Clippy. It looks like you're trying to make a for loop that does XYZ. Do you want me to finish that for you? And it literally writes code for you, and it's useful.
That's cool.
It's getting
crazy.
Wild.
We're having AI write itself now. Skynet.
Yeah, everybody's worried about Skynet.
Yeah. And I mean, the robot takeover will be eventual. It will be smooth and okay. And I saw the people in the Matrix. They weren't hurting for anything.
That's true, and they had the best art.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, advancements in AI has been pretty wild, and now AI is making art, which is previously a very human thing. And isn't it one of the indicators on what is the test for AI sentience? The
Turing test.
The Turing test.
Turing test.
The Turing test for good robot girls and boys. That one, like, isn't that one of them when they start creating culture? And isn't art and music culture?
No, it's whether you can
cultural relevant artifacts.
It's whether or not you can cyber with them properly.
Oh, that is number 2. Do they make good art? Can you put it in their USB port? That's disgusting.
They give you my little? I posted that up because there's a feed when you're in Midjourney. There's a feed. Everybody can see what everybody is requesting. And I posted in the Discord because this guy kept requesting like weird My Little Pony stuff. Like really, like I was thinking about reporting him because I was like, that's aggressive. That's very aggressive.
We don't need to teach the robots that. We don't need to teach the robots.
Don't teach them that's normal.
No, I mean I wouldn't want a robot that couldn't draw a My Little Pony with a giant hog. You know what I mean?
Well, they need to know how, but they shouldn't.
They need to know how
it.
big the hogs are on ponies.
That's part of being human. You know how to do
it's
that,
the
but you
human
shouldn't
experience.
do it.
Yeah,
the human experience.
Unless you get paid well. And speaking of not getting paid for work, now it's time for the segment you know and love, but with a different name.
Ooh,
hell yeah! You may know it as Ask the Audience. Audience Head to Head, or any of the other names I've accidentally called it. But now, it's time to officially begin Ask the Interns. Woo! Hell
what a corporate
yeah.
rebrand.
That
Lock
is
down a
definitely
name.
right. Speaking of corporate rebrand, why do I keep saying speaking of? Ask the Interns is brought to you by the Consumable and Collectible Recycling Program. Ooh. Do you have a habit of saving all of the pickups you find out in the world, just waiting for the perfect moment to use them? But that someday never comes, and then you just end up never using them, and now your backpack is filled with items you'll never use as you stare down the Grim Reaper at the end of your life, wondering what it was all for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, now you can, because you don't need to fear the Reaper, because CCR has your back. We come out to whatever game world you find yourself in and take all of the items you don't need anymore. We use them for things such as none of your business, for example. Best of all, we here at CCR will recycle items of any rarity from any person, whether you're a fortunate son,
It ain't me.
or you were born on the bayou.
Oh, no.
CCR, have you ever seen the rain?
Okay, I get it.
There's certainly a bathroom on the right.
You son of a bitch. Last episode, we asked you, what game is the most important game of your favorite genre? And technically, that's not accurate.
I think we asked,
What's important?
What's important?
What's important? But you know what we meant, and I know you know what we meant, because Metroid Mike came in on Discord with a classic, ya mum. But after a brutal no you from Jake, he had no choice but to revise his answer. And he says, for adventure games, he would say, he can't really choose a favorite between Wind Waker, Oblivion, and Fable, which I think, are all classic games. But for platformers, Super Metroid takes the cake.
fuck yeah, dude. Such a good game.
And then also we have fighting games, which he really loves. And he says Smash Bros. Melee. I don't think you can go wrong.
Honestly, for that genre of fighting, which they pioneered and were the only game for like a decade,
True.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they definitely push the envelope and their down B.
Waifu Warrior Showdown is just a little bit better, but I like his answer.
And the plot is so emotional in that one.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
The plot.
We also have Inky Danny, a.k.a. Beanie Boo Mini Purse.
Gas station name.
Hell yeah. Come out to our Discord to get your own gas station nickname. But she agrees with Smash Bros. Melee, but also adds that Diddy Kong Racing scratches that competitive itch like other.
I love that game so much. That was my first game for the Nintendo 64. Oh, God, Diddy Kong Racing so good.
Hit. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Inky just likes dunking on noobs is what it sounds like. But when she's flying solo, she said the most important games of the puzzle genre are Portal and Sticker Star Mario.
Interesting.
What is Sticker Star Mario?
I didn't know either. I hoped
that's
one of you would know.
It's one of the Paper Marios.
Oh,
okay.
I need to play it.
Hell yeah. We also got Tom from Bad Elephant Gaming, who I think last time reading his entire thing, he has become emboldened.
Oh, no.
And he pulled out his thesaurus for this one. So Tom
do it in one breath. One breath.
Okay, here we go. Rap God, Eminem, anybody? Tom from Battle Elephant Gaming's most played genre is adventure, and the definitive example of adventure is Breath of the Wild, a literal become your own hero engine. It may have a razor-thin plot, but that's because the story is you, with its yet-to-be-top travel system, encouragement of improvisation, and meaningful character moments connecting you to the world. Breath of the Wild is the best vehicle for putting your feet into an outstretched road and trekking off into the world of adventure. I did.
Hell yeah.
I just gotta say, Tom, like, I could have said it better myself, but I just don't feel like it because, like, the sun was barking and there's a baby in my eyes.
And it only took 13 takes. Yes, editor, he did yes, listener, he did 13 takes.
I'm a one-take Tony, baby.
It took 11 minutes for you to recover from the second time you blacked out.
Yeah.
What?
He puked, cried, got up, and then did it in one breath. It was kind of amazing.
So, Night of the Living podcast represents all things spooky by holding up Resident Evil 4 as both the most important horror game and their favorite game of all time.
I get it, or else they wouldn't remake it like every year. Like, it's a cool game.
And I was on board. Like, I was completely on board. I was like, yeah, that's great. But then they just completely dunked on me by saying they've beat it in every way possible on every console possible, even some other ones where they had to jailbreak an old iPod Touch to play it. And
what?
And like, I couldn't make it past the intro screen without getting scared. So
scared? Resident Evil 4 is like the least scary one.
If we know anything about JB, he can't play Spooky Dookie, and that's why we force him to do it at least once a year.
I get real spooky
I
real
thought
quick.
people love that game like somewhat ironically because it's got this whole like B movie kind of feel to it.
Sure. I mean, yeah, that's part of the charm,
Yeah.
I think.
B as in very scary.
Yeah.
And then we have
Very
the
delicious.
Neon Shadows podcast, which just finished their season 2 finale. Go check them out. They do something
shit.
completely unique. They're like a full-on narrative podcast. It's amazing. Like I've listened to a couple of their episodes, and it's real good. Go check them out. 2 full seasons. Just finished their finale. Go show them the love. But they say
Awesome, nice.
that Final Fantasy Tactics is the best, most important tactical RPG.
And they're intelligent as hell. They just know
Hell yeah.
the best games.
Yep.
That really is, and it had a fucking die-hard story. It had a political intrigue, well done, well dialogued story. Tactics FFT was the best.
It was so good. It's so good. And they've made multiple of them, and they're all real good.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have Recasted Podcast, who says GTA San Andreas is should be nominated for hold on a second, I got to do this in one breath again. Best action adventure open world sandbox crime role playing racing third person shooter. And yes, that is their official genre.
That's technically a category they should win.
that is-
Dead on.
That is, there's so many hyphens.
It's
in that.
them and Saints Row. Like
Yeah, that's
it.
true. There's only 2 of them.
Mhm.
And last, but definitely not least, we have Hooked on Movies, who gives the highly contested, most important JRPG award to the one, the only, say it with me, fellas,
I don't know what it is.
Final Fantasy VII,
baby.
Hell yeah.
That's right. Everybody knows it.
Everybody
like
knew it.
10
I
a
didn't
lot,
even
too.
have to prompt you with it. You just knew right
just
off the
knew.
bat that was the answer.
Yeah, I felt it in my soul, dude. That game's transcendent. It spoke through me. I was inhabited by the spirit of FF7.
And speaking of the spirit of FF7, we're taking things a little bit differently with this one. We rebranded. Ask the Interns
Ooh.
is getting a new paint of face, a new face of paint,
New face painting.
New face painting.
and there's steaks now.
Butterflies and
not-
tigers.
Oh yeah, T-bones.
And not just medium rare. We're talking about true steaks. Because this episode, we ask you, would you rather fight a Bowser-sized Pikmin or 100 Pikmin-sized Bowsers?
Ooh.
And you,
Oh my
you
God.
need to make sure that you back up your answer with facts, logic, and reasoning, because we have something special for you. That's right. You go ahead and send us your answers on social media or through Spotify, and the best answer, as chosen by us 3, will receive an amazing gift.
That's kind of
This is the
ominous.
first I've heard of it. This
I
is the
don't-
first I've heard of that. They're getting
I
an
don't-
amazing gift?
It was a little spooky. I spooked myself. But you don't want to miss it. So get those answers in, baby.
Certainly not, because I don't even know what it is.
Are we going to make them fight whatever they choose?
Hey,
Like,
listen, we don't know. I don't know. I
How
figured we would just
fabulous
figure it out in post. Like,
gift!
do we just figure it out in post? What do we? I might have signed a check. My ass can't cash.
Oh, we're actually panicking about this. What are the
Ooh,
logistics? Like, how
how do we-
can we even afford appearance by Bowser?
like, do we
Bowser-
need an address?
He
Do we need to
charges
dox him
so
for this?
much per hour.
let's
Oh
just
my
talk to
God.
Professor
Oh my God.
Leviathan. We'll get 100 Pikmin-sized Bowsers, and it'll be fine.
Yep. And then you'll get an amazing gift. Ooh, spooky.
JB, should I do the surprise reveal thing now?
And you're not supposed to ask me. You're just supposed to do it. That's what makes it a surprise.
The real surprise is that you think I care.
And just please do it.
Oh my DOS. Fine, your super secret guest has arrived with your super secret reveal. And then do like a party noise or something.
No, and you were supposed to say that, but oh boy, a super secret guest? I wonder who that could be.
What?
It's Luke, obviously.
Oh.
You specifically asked
Oh my
me.
god, it's Luke! Oh, what a super secret. I'm so surprised right now. Oh.
JB, when we said this was going to be a surprise party, we meant to surprise the boss, not us.
Yeah, dude. So, Luke is our surprise guest?
Maybe.
Can I come in yet? My legs are starting to cramp out here.
Yep, come in, mystery guest.
Wow, 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 wow. Surprise! Hey guys, it's me, Luke. Hello.
Oh my god, I'm so surprised.
Hey, Luke.
Hey, Luke.
Hey guys.
Wow.
JB, why is Luke here?
Well, while you two were trying to source the best manure from local farms, you know what I was doing?
What?
You know what I was doing? I was working in the shadows. I was making connections. I was getting answers. And now, with a little help from Luke, I know exactly what we need to do for Boss Appreciation Day.
Really?
Yep, got it all right here. I parsed the boss's entire search history and got the top 10 things that he searches for. And guess what? Number 3 will shock you.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Let me see that.
You know, going through another man's search history should be illegal.
You know, technically, I think it is.
Ah!
Okay.
What? Nothing. Number 3 just shocked me. Anyways, I think this is actually really helpful. Good work, JB. Well done.
Well, I helped too.
Yeah, JB. You alone just really came through when we needed you the most. Good job.
He just sent me the email asking me to do it.
Thanks, guys. You know, it was really hard work thinking of asking Luke, but I knew I would pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
But I literally did all the work. It's
Oh,
right.
Luke, you're still here? You know, the party isn't until later, and we're kind of busy with the podcast, so...
Seriously?
Yeah, I mean, if you're just going to be in here playing your little computer games or whatever, you can probably come back after we're set up.
Fine.
Thanks, Luke.
Bye, Luke.
You guys are the worst.
Well, while we de-clickbait this list and plan the perfect party for the boss, why don't we go and take a word from our sponsors? But when we return, get ready for some badass boss appreciation.
Appreciation?
It's alliteration.
But it's not
It's
really,
important. You got to do it.
right.
It's what hooks people. People love it.
Hello, I'm Don Margarine. For over 50 years, the Don Margarine family has been providing our 100% authentic butter products to households nationwide. In honor of Boss Appreciation Day, my beautiful family has created a number of wonderful butter products to celebrate myself, Don Margarine. First of all, I'm proud to introduce our new Big Don Butter Stick. This girthy stick of farm fresh butter boasts 8 inches of creamy buttery goodness with a sizable recreation of my head at the end. It's large, in charge, and highly detailed. If you stare at it hard enough, I swear you can tell my eye color. Next up, we have Dawn's Ultra Schlick. This rich and creamy butter-filled pomade is the perfect way to get those beautiful Dawn curlies all over. Just slap a generous handful of Ultra Schlick in your palms, grease them up, and rub it all over your body. Your body will soon be covered in shiny, strong body curlies that all the ladies swear to me that they love. As a bonus, it also goes great on a piece of sourdough toast. Finally, we're proud to partner with the National Board of Orthodontists to provide you Invisadon. This state-of-the-art technology allows you to take a mold of your teeth, fill it with that melted butter, slap it in the freezer, and create a delicious mouth insert that enables you to apply buttery goodness to every bite you take. Truly revolutionary. You can find all of these fabulous products in grocery stores near you. Now, back to the show.
Blood, murder, sacrifice. In today's episode, we're talking about one of the most vile, most lethal bosses to ever defile the video game dimension. A boss so effective at killing players that it unleashed a true-to-life virtual plague that completely crippled the Titan MMO World of Warcraft less than a year after its launch. This boss was so unstoppable that it took the actual developers almost a month of panicked hotfixes, patches, and eventually a hard reset of every server to finally stop its deadly influence from completely destroying the game forever. That's right, it's the troll Loa of Blood himself, Hakkar the Soul Flayer. What? That's right, tonight is all about him, baby, and somebody I consider one of the most lethal bosses ever. And remember, In this podcast, we did establish that the video game dimension is real and video game characters are very real. And this story is going to be told as such because it's the goddamn truth. And you guys need to get on the truth
Truth
you
train.
guys, truth train. Woo woo.
Yeah, this is basically a 60 Minutes
Truth,
episode where we
truth.
reveal the truth. We're truthers. We should coin that phrase. Is that already truthers? We're truthers.
I don't like that. I think there's connotations there. Well, anyway, all right, let's dive in, everybody. Now, to truly understand just how devastating an effect Hakkar the Soul Flayer had on the gaming community, we need to take a trip all the way back to November 23rd, 2004, with the release of World of Warcraft, the massively successful and influential MMO. That is, massive multiplayer online game, released by Blizzard. For those not in the know, and for those that do know, just bear with me for a second. I'm going to establish this for everybody to listen to.
I mean, I know. Like, I was there. 2004. I had my Razor. Not only the scooter, but also the cell phone.
Wow.
I was, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm there. You have transported me back in
2004,
time.
you had a Razor. You were a big shit. I had a little flip phone. I had my Nokia. I could text. For
I mean,
10
that
cents
thing
a
is
text.
probably still alive, and mine broke the second day I used it, so.
Yeah, I had a tricycle and a pager.
But anyway, for those not in the know, okay? For those not in the know, I'm going to set the stage so everybody, gamer or not, can understand this story. A massive multiplayer online game, or MMO for short, features huge in-game worlds with millions of players worldwide and allows for instances where hundreds of real players can interact with each other in a given area. True to life, it allows people to socialize and play together, and even included an in-game economy that players participated in. For all intents and purposes, it was a virtual world, real life, with lots of moving parts. And also for the rest of the story, I might say World of Warcraft, I might say WoW, they are one and the same. Most of us know, some don't, but just so you don't get confused. The launch of World of Warcraft was hugely successful. So successful, in fact, with over 100 million accounts created over its lifetime, it is the Guinness Book of World Records holder for most popular MMO of all time. World of Warcraft gameplay is largely centered around the conflict between two warring factions. The Virtuous Alliance, with its included fantasy races like dwarves, night elves, gnomes, and, yeah, humans. And the Spooky Dookie Horde, which included orcs, trolls, the undead, and Taurens.
Hell yeah, death to the Alliance, baby!
Oh,
Fuck 'em up.
dirty Horde player. I played Alliance. And it also included things like Taurens, which are kind of like Minotaurs with a glow-up. The game takes place over several continents on a world called Azeroth, and then each player chooses a faction and a fantasy race within that faction to play as, and what's more, you also choose a character class as well, like the hard-hitting warrior, the spell-slinging mage, the priest with their healing magics, the hunter with its commandable pet, and the spooky minion summoning warlock. Put it all together, and you have a game that allows players worldwide to socialize, play and fight together in a beautifully huge fantasy world. And to keep the game fresh and to mimic an ever-changing world, developers of WoW regularly released game updates, which featured new areas to explore, new dungeons, to venture with friends, and advancements to the plot. Yada, yada, yada. Now that you have a clear picture, we can actually talk about this game. The origin of Hakkar the Soul Flayer is deeply connected to the story and religion of the troll race, though it is steeped in mystery. Warcraft trolls aren't bridge-dwelling billy goat eaters many are familiar with. They are proud, blue-skinned people with large tusks and a culture mimicking ancient Aztec and Mayan culture with a lot of island culture mixed in as well. The troll religion is polytheistic in nature and believes in and worships powerful spirits called Loa. These Loa are said to symbolize certain ideas and virtues. Some examples are Razan, Loa of Kings, which presents itself as a huge golden armor-plated Tyrannosaurus, and Banswamdi, Loa of Death, which presents themselves as a powerful troll spirit. It is even said that trolls who die, if blessed with considerable power, can aspire to become a Loa themselves with great effort.
Are you sure you don't mean luau? Because, I think that's a
Yeah,
Jamaican
so if enough
luau.
trolls gather together, they roast a pig, they dance the night away, they can, become powerful troll luau's themselves and spread happiness and joy everywhere. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's right there in the lore. Read Wikipedia sometimes, idiot. I'm sorry, that was rude. All right.
Lord, do you mean luau?
I mean Wow.
Wow.
Hakkar is also a powerful Loa. Hakkar appears as a huge red and blue winged serpent with a snake-like body, 2 arms that end in large scythe-like talons, a reptilian head adorned in blue feathers, and a golden jewel-encrusted armor that he wears on his upper torso. His
Wait,
torso.
Sounds a lot like my mother-in-law. Am I right, guys?
Oh, am I right? Are we going there?
Am I right?
Boomer Talk. Welcome to Boomer Talk.
it's
My
a s-
wife, am I right?
It's a snake wearing armor with scythes for hands.
Fuck yes, it is. So, picture, it's a big snake person with scythe arms and big giant blue wings and Aztec armor and feathers on its head. It's a really wild-looking creature. Hakkar.
Oh, it's Scyther from Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just a standard
Actually,
Pokemon.
it is a Scyther. It is a
Pokemon.
Scyther with a snake body instead of feet. Honestly, he's 80% Scyther. You're actually right. He's a red and blue Scyther. Anyway, embedded in his ribcage is a large, dark, and foreboding crystal that exudes a dark energy. It is said that Hakkar shares kinship with the smaller wind serpents found throughout the game. So if you played it, you've seen the little wingy snakes all over WoW. Everyone's seen them who's played.
I haven't seen him.
Hakkar, because you don't play. Hakkar, much like other powerful Loa, sorry to call you out, has the ability to empower those in the mortal realm, often gifting them with great power, but at a heavy price. Followers of Hakkar slowly delve into a fierce madness and are driven by Hakkar's whims. As Hakkar gained influence over the mortal realm, he learned to draw power from consuming the blood of those sacrificed in his name. Eventually, it earned himself the terrifying title of the Loa of Blood.
So he's like a period monster? Is that...
Yes, he's like a
menstrual
period
monster?
monster, JB. Yes, he comes by once a month and just makes a mess of things.
Ooh, the monster of menstruation. It's me, Hakkar.
More like the monster of
Whenever I hear
mom, whatever.
whenever I hear blood sacrifice, I'm like, I mean, all sacrifice involves blood. You can't sacrifice somebody without like blood.
I mean, you could like put him in a trunk, shoot him into space.
Yeah.
There's no blood in that.
Nobody
Shoot
sacrifices
him into space. There's no blood in space.
There's no blood in space.
in space. Nobody can hear you bleed.
I mean, I read that on the National Geographic website.
Okay,
myself.
so the luau monster Scyther,
Mhm.
who has period ritual sacrifices.
Yes. I'm glad you're following
then-
along.
yeah, I'm locked
Yeah. All right. The first records of Hakkar point to a moment many millennia ago on the island of Zandalar, birthplace of the troll civilization.
Jamaica.
Kind of.
Yeah.
80%.
Wow, Jamaica.
Yeah, but
It
they're
is-
trolls, so it's not racist.
I've always wondered. I bet that's just white people saying you should be offended. I don't know. Is that a hot take? I don't know. I feel like people from the Pacific Islands are like, this is fucking cool. We have representation.
It was
I
like
don't
the
know.
Taco Bell dog. People loved it.
That's actually true. It is said that a foolish troll, whose name was lost to history, attempted to summon Hakkar to the mortal realm. Brave troll heroes were able to stop Hakkar from being summoned, but the deed was not left unpunished. It is unclear how long Hakkar appeared in the mortal realm, or if the summoning was successful at all, but the mere presence of Hakkar left the hero stricken with a sickness of corrupted blood.
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb. This might be like the hottest of all hot takes, but if you're like trying to get in touch with somebody and the method of doing so is a summoning, you probably like maybe you're making a mistake. Like call him on the phone, text him, I'll message him in Discord. Like that makes sense. But when you're like,
Right.
I got to summon my friend Hakkar, it's like, do you though? Like,
So you
do
think in a summoning circle is never a good thing? You think?
yeah.
You might
I think
be part
for
of
all
the
of those
bad
people
guys.
out there, when you're like, yeah, I'm just going to summon my friend real quick. It's like, no, like,
Yeah.
don't do that though.
But what about Captain Planet? When you think about that,
Huh. No, I think they call
Think
upon
about that
Captain
guy.
Planet.
they
you know?
summon him. Go Planet.
Mm.
Earth,
Well-
fire, wind, water, affection, heart.
By our powers combined, we
Going
are
steady.
Captain Planet. They don't summon him, they become him.
It'd just be
They
like
don't
if
become him. They summon him. They don't. They
By
don't,
our
they
powers
don't-
combined, we
no,
are Captain
they do not
Planet.
anamorph. They do not anamorph into fucking Captain Planet.
Of course not. That would be ridiculous. They human morph.
I think what JB's saying is that it would be weird that if every time you had to make a call on your iPhone, you had to stab a rabbit and bleed it onto the screen.
That I can get
Well, I
behind.
wasn't saying with that.
I
but
believe
yeah,
it. Yeah, you're right.
I agree.
You know what? You're right. Summoning is bad. Summoning is bad. I'll just never talk to my grandpa again. That's fine. Anyway, they carried this sickness back to population centers, and soon enough, the trolls of Zandalar suffered from a pandemic-level sickness that killed thousands and plummeted the proud race into their own version of the Dark Ages. Fast forward to about 1,500 years before the event of World of Warcraft, a tribe of trolls called the Gurubashi had ventured from Zandalar and settled on the southern tip of the Eastern Kingdoms within a region called the Stranglethorn Vale. For reference, the Eastern Kingdoms is the name of a continent that includes the Alliance capital of Stormwind, the Dwarven city of Ironforge, and other Alliance homelands.
Is this all going to be on the test?
Yes, it will, because you got to understand, like, if you're playing on a PvP server, like, STV is the most important zone because it's where you get ganked the most, and you're leveling up from, like, level 40 to 50, or, like, 30 to 40, somewhere around there, in that range, and, like, you're constantly getting attacked by, like, warlocks and rogues and stuff like that, but there's all these quests that you got to do, and it's, like, really crazy, because that's where, like, most people would quit the game if they were playing on a PvP server. I'm not speaking from experience, I'm just saying most people would do that.
Church.
You both are huge nerds. Please continue.
Escaping the civil war and famine that all Trollkind now faced, the Gurubashi left their homeland in search of a new place to call home. They eventually settled within Stranglethorn Vale, a mountainous jungle region similar to their homeland. Driven by hopelessness and fear, the Gurubashi were desperate to overcome the strife of their people. There, in the jungles of Stranglethorn Vale, the Gurubashi called out to the spirits for help. And something answered back.
Was it Jesus?
Like Troll Jesus, but also he's a Pokemon named Scyther.
Oh, and then that was the Moses. They were the Moses.
This is the Old Testament. Yeah, I actually pulled this out of the Old Testament, and I'm glad you guys are following along.
I can't believe you're still fanficking the Bible. What did I tell you
on
about
Sunday.
That's a really good insult. Like, for somebody's, like, if they make a book or something, you just go, this is fanfic of the Bible.
Eventually, news of the sudden prosperity of the Gurubashi trolls was met with jubilation. The troll tribes of Zandalar observed with pride as the Gurubashi flourished and spread, eventually claiming the entire southern tip of the Eastern Kingdoms. They even erected a great capital city, Zul'Gurub, in the heart of Stranglethorn Vale. It seemed as though troll civilization was finally moving past its grim history and into a new cultural renaissance for all Trollkind. The pride the Zandalari trolls felt was short-lived, however, and eventually turned into uneasiness and discontent when whispers of dark rituals and sacrifice met their ears. They soon discovered that the Gurubashi wielded powerful and dark magic and participated in blood rituals and soul sacrifices. The tribes of Zandalar were alarmed by the discovery and took to finding out the truth behind the prosperity of the Gurubashi.
So it's basically Troll Hollywood.
You got to elaborate on that one, buddy.
This is blood sacrifice, secret rituals, prosperity through evil,
right.
dark
The
cultish
libs.
means. The
Right. Right.
Don't
Pizzagate,
summarize my
blood
shit.
Pizzagate, am I
sacrifices.
right? You can't say those things enough or you get banned on YouTube. Pizzagate, am I right?
I mean, we're just dropping the truth. We're truthers out here.
Stop summarizing all my explanations with the libs. You're not in on this. You do that all the time. Right, the libs. No.
All right, my QAnon. You see, when the Gurubashi called out that we have no affiliation with them. You see, when the
No, this is all,
Gurubashi...
we're trolling. This is all jokes.
Just to elaborate. You see, when the Gurubashi called out in desperation to the spirits, it was Hakkar who answered back. Hakkar decided to bless the Gurubashi with the knowledge of blood magic and demanded blood offerings and soul sacrifice in return. The Gurubashi...
so like the libs.
Jesus.
Yeah. The Gurubashi, now under the sway of Hakkar's dark influences, used their newfound power to spread and take over Stranglethorn Vale. As the Gurubashi conquered the Vale, Hakkar's influence grew over their people, as did his hunger. Hakkar's influence on the Gurubashi grew subtly but steadily. Eventually, his influence became so strong that he drove the tribe to madness. Blood and sacrifice became the sole driving force of the Gurubashi tribe, and what was once a desperate pilgrimage became a murderous, conquering force.
So this is just like bad trolls gone badder?
Actually, trolls are kind of interesting. They're not exactly bad. The Horde's not exactly bad either. They're not all bad.
Of course not.
Some of them are just, races
They're the good guys. They're natural. They're in there with the earth and the dirt. They're living where nobody else wants to live. Then the dirty fucking alliance comes in and they say, your way of living is not the way we like, so we're going to murder all of you.
Well, because you guys are uncivilized, and so we have to bring civilization and blankets with smallpox
Right,
to
but
you.
they didn't understand. They were looking at these little small outposts. They didn't look at Orgrimmar, the biggest horde mecca of the world. With the they have an auction house. They have mail carriers. Like, they have everything that any Alliance town has.
All the modern comforts.
They have all the modern comforts, but because they just don't understand it, they think they're dirty orcs and trolls, and they've read too much J.R.R. Tolkien. They come in hot. And it's like, no, we just live differently than you. We live off of the land and we live in nature. We're basically hippies. And you come in with your swords.
So,
because humans get a +5 to swords. And then orcs come in with our axes because we're chopping down trees, baby.
So WoW is just Pocahontas and Lord of the Rings put together?
Yeah, but the Alliance is terrible and evil, and the Horde is right in all cases.
I would argue to say the Alliance is just misunderstanding. So is the Horde. The whole thing's a big misunderstanding. But counterpoint to the Horde being nice, Gul'dan, maybe? He's a bad guy.
How dare you? First of all, how dare you?
All I'm saying is Dark Portal, my guy. The Alliance didn't do that. Anyway, with confirmation of the dark rituals coming out of Zul'Gorub, the Zandalari trolls took to their archives and soon learned of an event long ago where brave heroes encountered a frightening Loa with the power over blood and the ensuing plague and devastation the troll nation faced after that encounter. The information allowed the Zandalari to conclude that the Gurubashi had mistakenly communed with the Loa of blood and had fallen under their sway. Seeing no other way out, the trolls of Zandalar and beyond chose to turn on their troll brothers and sisters once again to prevent worldwide destruction.
And thus begins the Civil War of 1812.
Yeah, honestly, this is another troll civil war. Like, that's the deal with the trolls, man. The trolls aren't necessarily good or evil. They're kind of a true neutral force, but their life has been too hard, man. They just need a break.
They're like Ken M. They like go out and post, and they're like, you shouldn't go out to space because you can't breathe there. Like, they're just good trolls.
Yes,
there's good trolls. There's bad trolls.
Like Ken M. Yeah. Many different tribes from Zandalar and beyond united against Hakkar the Soul Flayer and his priests, the Atalai. And if I got that right, I don't know. It's made up. And the ensuing war devastated the region. Even with the might of all troll civilization rallied to the cause, the war was hard fought, and victory slipped further and further away as Hakkar's power grew. The war seemed all but lost. That is, until trolls from the Zandalari front discovered the avatar of Hakkar, an altar which allowed Hakkar to communicate with the Gurubashi and channel his power through to the other side. In a final do-or-die push, the altar was destroyed, banishing Hakkar back to the other side, and with him any magic he provided. The Gurubashi, now devoid of Hakkar's power, were defeated, and the capital city of Zul'Gorub was sunk into the earth with powerful magic. It seemed that all traces of Hakkar had vanished from the world after the war. That is, until 1,500 years later, with the release of patch 1.7.0, Rise of the Blood God. On September 15th, 2005, less than a year after the launch of World of Warcraft, Blizzard developers introduced patch 1.7.0, titled Rise of the Blood God, which introduced new quests, game tweaks, and a 20-player raid called Zul'Gorub. High-level players worldwide flocked to Stranglethorn Vale, only to discover that the Gurubashi were back at it again. When the city of Zul'Gorub was sunk into the earth, instead of destroying the city forever, it conveniently created a hidden sanctum that allowed the Gurubashi and the Atalai priests to work in secret.
Mhm.
There, they bided their time and slowly built strength. What
True.
players discovered in Zul'Gurub was the army of monsters, spirits, and murderous zealots that they had built up, and at the head of it all, Hakkar.
Mm-hmm. I remember the first time I went to ZG with my raid group, and, I saw the Gurubashi back at it again with the white fans, and I was just like, sheesh! You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
They got style. Anyway, players strong enough to push to the end of the raid were rewarded with a fight with the Loa of Blood himself. Hakkar fought hard and had a number of dangerous spells, like Blood Siphon, which damaged every player and healed himself. He had the ability to cause insanity, which empowered players and caused them to target their allies. And arguably, the most powerful spell wielded by a video game villain ever, Corrupted Blood.
Oh, Jesus. You just gave me goosebumps. Don't do that.
Like rich people. Blue bloods. Corruption. Fat cats.
The Corrupted Blood spell reads as this. Deals 875 to 1,125 damage and 200 damage every second to the target and all nearby enemies for 10 seconds. What the spell doesn't mention is that it also spreads to other nearby players like a virus, and anyone afflicted with Corrupted Blood can pass it on while infected. This would prove to be devastating.
Through like sharing needles?
Basically, because when you're in the raid group, you're prepared for it, right? It's like you're in the hospital, you're already ready to heal through it, and you can deal with the spread. And if you wipe, you just start over. It's like no big deal. But there was so many unintended consequences of this that nobody could have ever understood the ramifications of this spell.
I could have.
With the needle sharing.
With the needle sharing. Nobody knew.
That's the AIDS pandemic of WoW. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, it was the 70s. Nobody knew.
Honestly, this is more akin to like more modern pandemics. It's really fascinating. But see, when players faced Hakkar for the first time, they didn't know how to beat him, and Hakkar wiped countless raid parties with his powerful blood magic. Though beaten and stricken with a mysterious ailment, many faced defeat with honor, pushing through to the last second before every man had fallen. Some, however, took a more cowardly approach and fled. Among the cowardly were hunter classes, that's what I play, that...
They are the most cowardly, I would say.
I was a hunter. Shush.
Weird.
How about that? Well, anyway, the hunter classes, they commanded pets during the fight. When entire parties suddenly fell to the effects of Corrupted Blood, rather than die with the dignity of a hero, they would recall their pets, which in-game terms meant that they disappeared and were put into sort of a storage until called again, and use a newly acquired teleport skill, because teleporting out, like Hearthstoning and stuff, or Waystoning, what is it called in WoW? I played WoW for a million hours. Thank you. Yeah, that wasn't around until about here. It's new to teleport away. So anyway, they'd recall their pets, they were all sick, and then they would use their newly acquired teleport skill to transport themselves away from the battlefield and back to the last inn that they registered at. Many registered at inns in capital cities, like Stormwind or Orgrimmar.
For the Horde!
Little did these cowardly hunters know, they brought something sinister back with them. Was this all part of Hakkar's plan? You be the judge.
Was it manufactured in a lab in Orgrimmar?
Ooh, hot take. Though Patient Zero was never identified, it is said that the, oh my god, I'm going to get this wrong, Archimond server? Archimond?
That's right.
Archimonde server was the first to get hit. Those unknowing hunters who recalled their pets and teleported back to capital cities took the Corrupted Blood debuff with them by way of recalled pets. The next time they summoned their pet, they would appear with the Corrupted Blood debuff applied to them, and anyone in the vicinity would suddenly fall under the effects of the spell.
Right.
And
it was like Pokemon rules. You know, like when in Pokemon Red and Blue, when your Pokemon would be poisoned and you'd be walking around and it's still ticking the poison. Imagine that, but it could spread to nearby Pokemon. So like you're in like a, Goldenrod and you bust out your poison Pikachu and it just infects the gym leader and all their Pokemon. And now they're all, corrupted.
Yeah. And just like a real virus, those unfortunate souls would then spread it to more players before succumbing to the effects. So it spread, exponentially from player to player to player to player to player to player over and over and over and over and over. What's worse, and proved to be the most effective disease vector by far, is that NPC characters could also fall under the effects of corrupted blood and spread it. Because these NPCs did not show symptoms, nor were they coded to be able to die, they perpetually spread it back and forth to other PCs over and over, and they were able to spread it to other players. The spell spread like wildfire, and soon every major population center in the game on every server fell into chaos. Seemingly overnight, the streets of all major cities were literally covered in the skeletons of dead players. I've seen the pictures. It's wild. Take it literally. The entire game, every fucking major city, skeletons. The streets were paved with dead players. All player communication channels, namely like World Chat or Guild Chat, were a non-stop feed of panic and warning to stay away from any town and city. Any low-level character that ventured close to the city was met with death. Max-level characters were strong enough to survive one bout of corrupted blood, but repeated exposure would eventually prove fatal as well. In a very real way, the world of Azeroth was experiencing a true-to-life pandemic, and at the head of it all was Hakkar.
And you got to remember that this was 2004. We were running on Pentiums and 56K modems. We were getting 12 frames a second if we were wealthy. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like modern day where you're like, well, I would just run away from the city. Like, what's wrong with you? It's like, no, you were slideshowing. And there's bodies just dropping left, right, and center. It's like D-Day. It's like Nam. Like, you have no time to react. You're just getting stacks and stacks of corrupted blood, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's right. And it seems Hakkar's plan had really succeeded. The world of Warcraft was brought to its knees. At first, players thought that the corrupted blood plague was intentional on Blizzard's part. But that soon proved untrue when Blizzard started issuing statements about what they called an unintentional bug and that there would be a fix soon. That also proved untrue. Internally, Blizzard was in full panic mode. It seemed all attempts to remedy the situation were proving unsuccessful. At first, they had no idea how the corrupted blood spell had escaped the raid, how it was spreading so quickly, and why they couldn't stop it. The longer it went without Blizzard offering a fix, the more the player base started to panic. But this is a game about heroes, isn't it? The strongest players decided to take it upon themselves to cure an ailing MMO. A week into the corrupted blood pandemic, players were organized in an attempt to fight back against the sickness. High-level healers ventured into city centers to act as triage and cast healing magics in an attempt to keep those afflicted alive and stop the spread. Those that couldn't heal stood guard outside cities to warn players not to venture in. Many guild leaders also took it upon themselves to rally their troops and bolster the relief effort. Unfortunately, though, the corrupted blood pandemic proved more complex than anyone could anticipate, owed mostly to the most unpredictable and uncontrollable element found in any video game: people. In a perfect example of humans being human, instead of staying home, or in this case staying out of shops and auction houses, some players continued to use these services, consequences be damned, because they felt they had to keep making money. This, of course, led to contracting corrupted blood,
Jesus.
spreading it, and die. Starting to ring a little true, isn't it?
I don't like how close to home a lot of this is currently hitting.
Yeah, the parallels to what, the last few years have been are wild.
I mean, I just gotta say, like, the auction house is an essential service filled with essential workers.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you just let it shut down? Like, the
Can
entire...
you, though?
No, because it's essential.
Sure.
It's in the name.
And the question is, can you quest from home? You can't. You can't quest from home.
Not in 2004.
So
well, at this point, it's 2005.
Essential.
Not in 2005, you couldn't. All the more sinister, some players actually caught it on purpose just to spread it.
Oh, yeah.
There's
for
always
sure.
dickheads.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I think, the first server was a fluke. Maybe the second server was a fluke. Every other server was purposeful. I remember hunters are some crazy people. I'll just let you know right now, like, I'm the only one in this group that didn't play hunter. And I've played with a lot of hunters, and they're insane. They're like absolutely insane. They just want to watch the world burn.
Yep.
I remember this guy who would, he was a hunter, and he would duel people in, what was that town in the Shimmering Flats, the neutral city?
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Chicago.
he would go to Chicago, and he would duel random enemy alliance, because for the Horde, of course, and he would drop a snake trap before the duel started. And immediately after the duel would start, he would yield at the moment the enemy alliance would trigger the snake trap, and the snake trap would continue to attack the alliance. And if the alliance character attacked the snakes that came out of the snake trap, well, now he was flagged for PvP, and he was considered a hostile actor. And now every NPC in the Shimmering Flats town would attack this alliance character. And I would sit there and watch him for hours.
Oh my God,
like
that's
legitimate
amazing.
hours, just murder anyone who would dare duel him. And it was just, that's just hunters. That's hunters for you. So you're telling me that this was an accident? Absolutely not. They went into that specifically to get corrupted blood. They dismissed their pet.
Absolutely.
And they were laughing and wringing their hands. And they who Hearthstone's out in the middle of a raid? Nobody. I'll tell you that. Nobody but hunters. They go to the main town. They release that endemic upon the populace, and they laugh. And they laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably really true. After this first picked up, those assholes did spread it on purpose. They probably thought it was fun. Or they too fell under the sway of Hakkar. Maybe. And those brave healers who took it upon themselves to help the sick, they too would eventually succumb to corrupted blood and unintentionally spread it to the lower level players they were trying to help. Much like an overworked healthcare system. For weeks, it seemed that Hakkar's plan to consume the world had succeeded. Any patch or hotfix that Blizzard pushed out didn't work. Relief efforts were all in vain, and corrupt players rejoiced in spreading the plague further. The very plague that drove troll civilization to civil war and ruin was now being experienced by millions throughout Azeroth. You could even say that Hakkar's influence was so strong that it broke the barrier to our world, and we, as players, suffered real consequences for it. After a month of chaos, death, and ruin, Blizzard felt they had no choice but to take the nuclear option. On October 8th, 2005, Blizzard made the choice to shut it all down. In the game, every denizen of Azeroth witnessed a true apocalypse. Plague, infighting, death, and then nothing. But through that darkness shone a light. Slowly, the world of Azeroth was brought back to life, and the plague was absent from the world. In fact, it seems as though the plague and consequences of it had never happened at all. The world of Azeroth rejoiced. It seemed the gods themselves had intervened to save the world. In less dramatic words, Blizzard finally cracked the source of the problem, coded out the ability for pets to contract corrupted blood, coded out the ability to bring the plague from the outside dungeon, hard reset every server to erase all traces of the incident, implemented the patch, and the rest was history. Hakkar the Soulflayer's reign of terror only really lasted 25 days. But his methods were so lethal, and he brought down the entire world of Warcraft with it. I can say with certainty that no boss in the history of gaming has ever shown such a display of power. And for that, I do declare that Hakkar the Soulflayer goes down in history as the most powerful video game boss ever.
Hey!
Nice!
Well done.
I
That was a great... I remember living through this moment and being just annoyed. And I remember
So you
after
experienced
the
it?
fact,
You experienced it firsthand.
Oh, yeah, I was there. I was in Orgrimmar dead forever. And it was crazy because you would log in and you would just be lagging, trying to click on things, trying to leave. You would make your way out into the Barrens, and then you would be dead and be back in Orgrimmar. So it was like there was so much lag, so much death, so much destruction. There was literally no way to play the game. And I remember me and all my friend group, my entire guild, were just annoyed. We were just like, oh, this is so dumb. But then after the fact, being able to look back and be like, I was a part of history. I was a part of like a one time in life thing. Like I have a sense of pride, but also like I know that I experienced something that not a lot of people get to experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty cool. Honestly, I think that's like a one-time moment in gaming that, bugs as features is such a meme, but that was a feature. That was a feature of the game.
I really love the idea that all you guys had to do was stay logged off. Like, stay in your homes, stay off the WoW servers, don't go in, and yet people just couldn't. I love the parallel.
They couldn't help it. They couldn't help it. Oh my God, my dailies. Oh my God, I got to turn this in. In vanilla WoW to earn a gold was fucking tough. And they're like, I can't risk it. I can't risk it. WoW is life. In 2005, WoW is life.
I mean, you said 25 days. 25 days is a long time for an entire game to be just being obliterated. Like, 25 days is heavy.
It is, especially an MMO.
Yeah.
A subscription service social game. An MMO fucking crippled by a spell from a boss.
Yeah, I think the only other time this has ever happened was also in World of Warcraft, which doesn't say a lot about their devs. But when Wrath of the Lich King was about to launch the pre-patch, and they did the all the zombies started attacking, and you could become a zombie, and
that one was planned.
That was planned, and it was almost like a callback to this one. And people complained about that. I thought that was annoying too. But after the fact, looking back, it was such a cool experience.
Yeah.
Wasn't there also this thing where people were kiting giant bosses into the city?
Oh, yes. Yes, kiting world bosses, that used to be a big thing, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious. I gotta say, like, if I played WoW, I'd be annoyed, but since I don't, I'm like, this is all just hilarious to me. I love it.
When you look up from your shop and a giant Cyclops monster is stomping the auction house, you're like, yeah, right.
You're just in there to buy some berries, then you get kicked, out of the city by a 20-story Cyclops.
Yeah.
I just want to sell my leather scraps.
So I'm supposed to let you know when the boss is going to be arriving.
Oh, yeah. So when's he getting here?
Well, 10.
Oh shit. He's early. Stick to the plan, guys. Stick to the plan.
Places, people. We only got
9.
one chance at this. JP, secure the mast.
But there's not enough time. Cowboy, get that monkey back on its tricycle.
Okay. Oh, no. No, these
7.
are Fritos. These are supposed to be Doritos. Abort, guys. Abort.
Damn it, man, get a hold of yourself.
6.
I needed that. Give me another.
Wait, almost done. Almost
Oh
done.
my gosh, this is so exhausting. 0.
No.
There better be a damn good reason why I was summoned here, like some goddamn optional mini boss. Blech.
Surprise!
What the hell is going on here?
Happy Boss Appreciation Day.
Listen, boss, we felt terrible about what we said this morning. So we spent the whole day planning the perfect Boss Appreciation Day party. To show we really do appreciate you.
Yeah, you've been such a great boss. I mean, like, you gave us our jobs.
Oh, he's done.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, we wanted to make this day all about you, to show how great of a boss you are. To all of us. I mean, isn't that right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. We love you, boss.
Oh, yeah, you're a pretty cool guy.
I actually do not work here.
Podcasters, it's perfect. Terry is cosplaying as my favorite anime protagonist, and well, you managed to get one of those aggressive chimps from Joe Rogan. He's always talking about him. And you even got a chalice made from the skulls of my enemies. Humans.
Yeah, well, JB deserves a lot of the credit. I mean, it was all his idea.
But also,
Please, Luke, enough. Like, I'm too humbled that I did all this. Yes, all me, did this. Thank you.
Wow, I can't believe you did all this. Must have taken so much time and effort putting this together.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much spent the entire day
Effort that you should have spent working.
What?
Ho, ho, ho. Anne told me everything. Roping the whole office into slacking off during working hours. Buying all this stuff with company funds. And worst of all, snooping through my personal search history.
But I mean, like, if you really think about it, it was Luke.
Don't try to pass the buck now, when you just admitted it was all you. apologize to Luke now.
Sorry, Luke.
Well, I mean, well, you know,
Apology not accepted, loser.
well, thanks, Ann.
You boys are gonna spend the rest of the day down in the Game Corp mines, stumbling around in the dark, pulling diamonds from stone with your bare hands, while Oh, hey, is that Doombrew?
Oh, yeah, boss. Just my humble little contribution to the party, you know. I found a supplier that sells it cheap because he didn't know Pikmin hunting is illegal now. It was practically a steal.
A steal? You stole? For me? That's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me.
But we set up all this
Cowboy,
stuff. And...
shh. Look.
Oh, man, I love this stuff. Terry, you make one ridiculous-looking Kikimo. Get over here, you silly son of a bitch.
Oh, well, to be completely honest, I prefer Season 1 pre-half demon Kikimo. But, dress code and all.
Yeah, true. Hey, Quisitor, I see you, you fancy-faced bastard. Come take shots with me.
Shots on a workday? Oh, how scandalously decadent. Of course.
See?
Yeah, he's getting drunk.
Yes. More importantly, he's having fun.
And even more importantly, he's not throwing us down a mine shaft to die.
Well, then, I'd say Boss Appreciation Day was a huge success. Well, except for potentially causing irreparable damage to our relationship with Luke and Ann, that is, but,
Yeah, they're kind of staring at us. Well, what do you say we wrap the show up and go enjoy the festivities ourselves?
That is a great idea.
Yeah, sure. All right, well, that's our show, everybody. As always, I'd like to thank Metroid Mike for the use of our theme song, I Can't Break, off of the album Heart of the Juggernaut. You can go to Bandcamp right now and buy that baby for $1 million because his baby eats 1,000 million pounds of tuna a day and lives in the ocean. And quite frankly, it's fucking frightening. And also, thanks to Inky Danny for all of the artwork. It's beautiful. Look at that beautiful cover art. We use it everywhere. Thank her right now. Go on Twitter and just say thank you. She'll know what you mean.
Hell yeah, and thank you so much for participating in Ask the Intern, the new branded segment that was also an old unbranded I don't know how that works, but go out and answer those questions because we want to hear from you. And on top of that, you can ask us questions. Go to our Twitter, go to our Instagram, go to our Discord, ask us questions. We will answer them on the podcast. You'll get a shout out. You'll get a special prize.
Ooh. And beyond that, I want to thank you all for just listening, for tuning in, hearing us every week, and keeping us going. It is you guys who put the numbers up and put the posts up that really make us do this, so we love y'all. And I need you guys to do one more thing for me. It's a lot to ask. I know I always do this, but I need you to stay for the post-credits sequence. I always forget to say that. Stay for it. Because we're like Marvel. Oh, also, get the fuck out of here.
Good night, everybody!
Good night.
Oh, morning. Look at him, he's shitting on the floor again.
So anyway, that's when I was like, Ragnaros, I'm gonna beat you to death with your own hand.
Because in game, you can wield the hand of Ragnaros. Yeah.
Oh.
That's just so funny.
Yeah, then WoW had like night elves that were like in skimpy bikinis and stuff, and I think there's some animals in the starting zone.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. Wait, what?
I that's as far as I got.
You know what, podcasters? This party ended up being pretty mediocre.
Okay.
Close enough to a compliment to me, man. Cheers!
Cheers!
Look at the monkey. Look at the monkey on the tricycle.
Banana.
That monkey gets it. Get that monkey a job. You're hired, monkey.
Monkey intern.
Monkey intern.
Monkey intern. Monkey intern.
Yeah.
Monkey intern.
And so the podcasters completed their mission and gave the boss a day he won't forget anytime soon. They drank into the night without a care in the world. But little did they know of the evil that their actions today would release upon the world.